What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today's video, we got a new part in. We got our new trunk pan for the Camaro. We also got some bodywork stuff going on here too. So we got some body filler, some Bondo, some Evercoat Z grip. We got some icing, which is basically a lightweight finishing putty or a finishing Bondo, as we gonna call it. And then we also got some Durablocks. So we're gonna have to be doing a lot of sanding on this Bondo. So went ahead and got us some Durablocks. So these are nice and flat. They're foam. They contour. We got a round one. I mean, comes in every shape and size you can imagine. So it's gonna grill some thin ones. We got a long rectangular one. So, you know, it being an older car and we have to do repairs like the dash right here, we're gonna have to Bondo it out, smooth it out, you know, make sure it looks good. So when we do paint it, you know, there's no imperfections, or, you know, it's as best as we can get it. So but yeah, so today we're gonna be cutting out the old rusty trunk pan, and we're gonna kind of figure out how we're gonna lay it out. So since the 78 has this weird kind of not flat at all trunk pan, which kind of sucks for a fuel cell, so we're gonna cut it out, and we got a 70 to 73 trunk pan. So those are flat, and I'll go ahead and unbox this and then show you guys what I'm talking about. Alright guys, so this is the new trunk pan that we got. It's a 70 to 73 Camaro, and as you can see how there's no raises or anything like that. So this is nice and flat. So when we go ahead and take our fuel cell and put it either left, right, center, whatever the case may be, it's gonna lay nice and flat. We're not gonna have any issues. And actually it's backwards. So this is the back of the car, that's the front of the car, just so you know. And then like I showed you before, we'll go look at it again. But how this big old hump right here, little small flat spot, little small flat spot. It would have been so much fabrication just to try to make that work, or even try to recess the tank that we were talking about, but just went ahead and pulled the trigger. We had rust holes in it, so we got to fix those anyway, so we figured might as well just replace the pan, see how it goes. So the first thing I do when I replace sheet metal is I take some measurements just to make sure what I'm going to cut out or what I'm replacing is actually going to work. It's raining pretty bad. So I already did that when I ordered the 70 to 73 trunk pan. I took some measurements of the pan that we have. Now from right here, from this little hump to this little hump, it's about 37 inches, maybe 37 and a quarter. And then the new one measures the same exact size. So this radius and these bends all along here should be the same on both cars. The only difference being that there's not a big main hump right there. So what I do, I measure it twice, make sure it's good. Went ahead and ordered the part. So now what we're gonna do is I'm going to show you, I'm probably gonna cut a little bit less than I actually want, just in case something doesn't fit right, or I need a little extra playroom to play with the new metal. But that's just how I do it, just to kind of prevent you from packing something up and then having to reorder a trunk pan, or you got to make a new patch panel or something like that. So I did the same thing with the floors and they came out great, so we're going to do the same thing with the trunk. So let's get started. All right, no turning back now. finally out, guys. Got the floor pan out, or the trunk pan I should say. So ran into a little issue. These are the old gas tank mounts underneath, and I didn't think about that when I was cutting through. So I got some finishing work to do. I got to round off all the edges, and then what we'll do is take the old pan, kind of mock it up on the new one, see how we're going to be able to do this. So yeah, just get some rough measurements when we do this, and I'll kind of trace it out, and then we'll see how it's going to line up. All right, guys, so as you can see, we got our rough cut, and then I think everything's going to line up pretty dang good, because here's the bend right here, and it follows it all along. The only thing I might have an issue with is the old pan is not, it's kind of flat right here, and this new one's got this little raise right here. So might have to do a little bit of patchwork, or even cut this out and make it flat. We'll see how far we go, but right now, I mean, everything looks pretty dang good, so I think it's gonna line up just fine. I think it's gonna work for what we're doing. Yeah, because I mean, look at that corner is right on the money. So, but just like any aftermarket sheet metal, you're gonna have to play with it no matter what, brand, you know, how quality is. So I mean, we bought some pretty nice floor pans, and we still had to massage them in. So this trunk pan was cheap, and we're gonna see how it fits. So like I said, got some finish work to do, clean up these edges, remove these mounts, and then go ahead and clean it up a little bit more, get rid of all this stuff down here, because this is a second skin. So right here, see, I kind of went through a little bit on that, just a little bit right there, and I think a little bit over here. So we'll patch this up, no big deal. But yeah, this is the outer skin. There's a skin on the inboard side, so all I gotta do is cut that out. I'm gonna go ahead and be working on this throughout the week. So what I'll do is I'll get it cut up, I'll get it in the car, I'll probably get some tech screws, some self tappers, get it in the car, get it screwed in, and then figure out my welding process after that. So just do some stitch welding around the perimeter and stuff like that, make sure it fits real good, and then we'll seam seal it, we'll bed line it, and it'll be done. So all I gotta do is put probably just a little cut in the new floor for the sump for the new fuel cell. So that'd be the only modification we have to do. But I mean, like you guys can see, it's totally flat compared to the other one. There's no stupid big old bump right there for a spare tire or the gas tank or whatever they did back in '78. So 70-73 is going to be the swap. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. So make sure you subscribe and see our future videos. We're going to get this trunk pan installed, fuel cell mounted. You know, we got the roll bar coming up, and actually I talked to Andrew over at Strange Engineering, and we ditched the S60 idea and went with the fabricated 9-inch. Reason being, you know, if we ever take this car on a race week or something like that, and we need to swap gears, or we break a gear and we need a new third member, the S60 just wasn't going to do it, because then we'd have to get parts from Strange only, since they're the only ones that making the S60. So that 9-inch, it's direct bolt-in, stock width, 35 spline, spool, brakes. It's got a 370 gear. You know, it's got everything that we're going to need for it. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.